As spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have, I'll fix up his name. Un momento, papi, un momento. We have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. As I quickly fix up his name. There we go. We have the red Protoss player himself representing Streamer Zone. It is sOs. Oh, he's an animal. And we're going for a proxy to kick things off. Let's go, baby, let's go. As we do open up with a proxy here in the center of the map, going for the gateway to reinforce and harass across the map as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, ByuN, he went for double gas openers non-stop against Classic, but here we'll see how ByuN does decide to open up instead. Double gas opener out of ByuN. Safe build, safe play out of our Terran player. This will be more ideal against what sOs is up to. We'll see if ByuN goes for a high ground CC or a low ground command center. Now, first things first, double gas opener. What does that mean? That means faster factory. Faster factory, delayed command center, leads into early Hellions, early Cyclones, just early tech here from the side of ByuN is considered to be a safer way to play in TvP. Safer and more tech heavy, can lead into more tech in a longer mid game, in the earliest mid game. Meanwhile, likewise, we could see ByuN go for high ground CC, which he also did embrace against Classic. After the factory, of course. For now, the Zelda is being chronoed as we speak. Chronoing out the Zealots. ByuN does not SCV scout, but that's common. It's very rare to see SCV scouts in TvP. So no SCV scouts. Factory is on the way. Here comes the initial Zealot here from sOs. And we'll see what he can get done. Again, ideally, sOs wants ByuN to expand on the low grounds, so he can try to disrupt the economy and disrupt the opener. That's why you can see he's hiding his Zealots. The Reaper will scout. No shot. No, he sees. He saw a glimpse. Does he notice? Oh, I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. But he will actually rotate towards the center and he will find the proxy. Assuming he goes a little bit further out. He does. Yeah, he does check. He does check. Does find the Zealots. He knows. Yeah, ByuN is aware. And with that, ByuN, instant bunker. Instant bunker is going to be thrown down. Good reaction. Along with the depot here. So the pylon. The pylon will delay the add-on. Zealot moves in. And the boys are being pulled. The boys are being pulled. One SCV goes down. He gets one. Yeah, he gets one SCV. Actually shot by ByuN. He pulls away too late. Two SCV kills. Yeah, two SCVs, but ByuN does fully wall off, and ByuN will hold. Yeah, ByuN is holding. He needs that bunker. Oh, bit of miscontrol. Some more good control there from ByuN. Hellion has arrived. The SCV taking a lot of hits. The SCV is going to go down. Oh no, he gets another. That's 4 SCV kills. Oh my god. Yeah, 4 SCV kills. The bunker is still not ready. So we're doing some decent damage here, and behind this, sOs expands. Right, sOs is expanding. He's taking his natural. This CC on the high ground is delayed. So a little bit of a messy defense here from ByuN, but he does hold. Right, he does hold. He's now going for a counterattack. The likewise Stalkers are racing back home to defend. The battery is almost done. And should finish up in time. Despite that, still finds a probe on the low ground. Still finds a probe, gets a full scout, confirming the robo opener. Interesting. The early robo typically is indicative here of either a war prism early on to harass across the map, or to go into fast Bay into fast Colossus, or both. Or both. As ByuN does get 3 probe kills. So doing almost an equivalent amount of economic damage. Catching out 3 probes. Robo's now done. Do we go for the prism? Do we go for the Bay? Immortal first. Interesting. That's a very fast Immortal. You have my attention, sOs. With early Immortal production, I'm curious if he was going to go for like a Soul Train, like 2 base all in. Curious. Not much reason to get an Immortal this early on. This quickly, even. Behind this, ByuN going for the add-on swap, getting into early Cyclone, into tank production, into Banshee play. So again, very tech heavy. The hallucination will scout across the map. Immortal's out. Prism is on the way to eventually push. Banshee gets scouted. Does got the Banshee. Is at least aware. That will help. And we can see why we got the early Immortal. As you mentioned, it is going to be quote-unquote like a Soul Train-esque push. We have Sentries, we have Immortals. Yeah, we got the core kind of base of what a Soul Train entails. So very early, very unorthodox timing here from SOS. We have a high ground tank. Yeah, tank on the high ground. Remember, because of the early add-on swap here, the early tech, the early factory, early tanks, early cyclones, bunkers on the way as well. Again, it's a really weird push here from SOS and designed to catch a player off guard. And does he catch ByuN? Oof. Tank shot goes off. Boys are being pulled. Bunkers complete. So we do attempted 90 repairs. Bunker goes down. So a decent engage here from SOS. Not bad. Dust and I mining. He wants that Cyclone. Cyclone pulls back. Nice juggling though. Sniping how many SCVs so far? It's 8 SCVs in total. Banshee tries to break in. SOS does defend. And decent damage. Decent damage, especially because SOS didn't lose too much, right? He saved the War Prism, he saved the Immortal, he saved the Sentries as well. It's a very careful play here by SOS. So far, I think it's okay. It's okay, man. Gets across the map. Ooh, takes down the Cyclone. Cyclone does fall. Prism pulls out. A third base is on the way here for SOS. We're building up in towards the mid game with a very gateway heavy style into charge into Colossus. Okay. Now, from here, ByuN is going to make a choice. Do we claim our third base? Do we build up into the mid game, or do we try to commit and double down on 2 bases? I feel like he's going to expand. I feel like from here, we just take a third base and turtle up and get into a longer game. Oof. So we do accidentally lift. Viking will zone. But again, this just has been a very, very awkward game for ByuN. Just very, very awkward game. Which is, you know, the kind of player that SOS is. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So we're getting to charge. Colossus production has begun. Now we have to be careful here for SOS and not fly too close to the sun. Right now, ByuN is contained on 2 bases, which is good. From here, SOS can get a 4th, right? I would expect to see if we were casting Classic, I'd expect a 4th base and momentarily like a 5th base on the way and double expand, right? You're containing ByuN to take advantage of that. I'm concerned that SOS is going to be too aggressive. You can see we're warping in. Yep. So instead of expanding SOS, he just commits. He just goes for a massive open of Zealots. SOS is pushing, and he might try to break this entrenched position here of 3 tanks and SimCity and bunkers. If he doesn't, then he just has late 4th. Hey, late 4th. So late 4th expansion here from SOS. I say late, it's still at a decent timing, but it could have been earlier. I guess that's a better way of putting it. We could have been a little bit greedier here. Regardless, is still getting his 4th base at a decent time. ByuN moving out with a double drop. And again, ByuN is getting a 3rd TC. So ByuN, his goal here is to just turtle. As we mentioned in the ByuN, a fun fact at the beginning of the broadcast, in the Classic vs ByuN series, it is actually quite difficult on Ruby Rock to turtle up as a Terran player. It is quite difficult. It's a very open map, short rush distance by ground as well. We've seen many a Terran player attempt and fail to turtle up on this map, so I'm not entirely convinced that ByuN can pull this off, but we'll see. So far, moving out with his drop. Ideally, he wants to force a recall, and then he can expand. Go does unload. So he does recall. So he gets what he wanted. ByuN forces a recall. From here he can pick up and pull away. There is no blink, and now ByuN can expand. He can now break out. Observers over the main army. Still some awkward movement here from ByuN. There we go, there's the 3rd. 3rd is now on the way. I don't know if you noticed, but this tank specifically is trapped. There we go. We open up the wall. Yeah, the wall is open. ByuN still being active. ByuN expanding is one thing, but ByuN needs to set up his tanks. Like right now, his tanks are too far back. He's very secure at the natural, but we need to start to set up and secure the third. Drop into the main base. ByuN, he pulls back. Pulls back to the main. And again, we need to set the tanks on the high ground to protect the mineral line. Need to set up here on the low ground as well. I'm just concerned about the eventual push here from sOs. Has a lot to work with. Has a lot to work with. As rocks are knocked down. sOs is maxed. He's maxed out with 3 Colossus and a mass amount of Zealots. And ByuN, is he set up well enough? Okay, so we have 4 tanks. 4 tanks, 3 Liberators. Army does siege. No armor shred. Yeah, the Raven is going to be focused down. Oof, yeah, no spell. But the tank line holds. Wow, massive tank shots on the main army. The tank line is holding. So run by into the natural. Won't get much damage done. ByuN defends. Hey, ByuN, he defends. He holds on against his 4 tanks. He's holding back. Didn't kill any Colossus, and we have a 5th Colossus in production. Jesus, that's a lot of Colossi. And again, ByuN just has to weather the storm. The goal here is just turtle. Just turtle up and defend. If you watched GSL last week with in the round of 8s with ByuN versus Hero, it was actually on this very map, if you recall, where ByuN, he turtled up on 4 and then 5 bases, and Hero took the rest of the map. That's kind of what we're expecting here, right? We need sOs to take every base on the map. I will say that sOs has been very late to expand. That is my big concern, is that we've had, even this is off center, I believe, but we've had some very late expansions and very late economy. That is concerning. sOs trying to move in. Colossus are exposed. He gets 1. Yeah, ByuN gets 1 Colossus. Takes down 1. There's 3 left. Yeah, shaky fight there from sOs. At the same time, trying to push into towards the natural, but he fails to do so. And again, sOs, he's still late to expand. So ideally, you want to take every base on the map that you can, and then prioritize your fringe expansions. Prioritize mining your fringe bases. Ooh, Prism gets caught. And ByuN, on the flip side, should be staying at home until he maxes. It's very similar to Maru. If you remember, we casted Maru versus Zaun earlier on Tourmaline, where Maru, he turtled up until he maxed, then he waited for Maru to take some bad fights, and then he counterattacked with that perfect army of Ghost, Tank, Liberator, Viking. Ghost Academy just out of the way. So late Ghost production. Again, we don't really expect ByuN to move out until he has his Ghost out for those EMPs. Likewise, second starports, more Liberators. ByuN is still perfecting his army, and now he does branch out to take a 4th. So 4th base is on the way. Oh, did the stream go down at one point? Oh. Thanks for letting us know. Hopefully it didn't disrupt too many people. Everything's still fine on my end, but it looks like it might have gone down for like a second or 2. Smash. So we're rotating here on the top side. sOs looking for a better angle of attack. Here there's only 1 tank. 1 tank, 1 Liberator, 1 Planetary. There is a big opening here, and ByuN, he now rotates. Okay, ByuN is rotating over. Oof, that's a kill order cancel on the CC. As ByuN, he does try to give chase. He gets 1. Takes down one of the Colossi. That was a crazy dive out of ByuN, but so far it is worth it. At the same time, Prism does go for the backstab, but there are units in position to defend. The Prism goes down. And nice defense by ByuN. He's ready for the War Prism. He was in position, and ByuN protects the 4th. Yeah, big moment for ByuN. Claims the 4th expansion. sOs, we have minimal saturation bottom left. That is a concern. Setting up for a run by. ByuN is ready. He's ready for the run by. He's in position. He's in position, man. EMP's coming in. Does land. Yeah, EMP lands. Now we can just dive. There's not enough support here. At the same time, SOS is counterattack, but again, ByuN is in position. He defends and he attacks. SOS is falling apart. Yeah, SOS is falling apart here. Again, I would say that SOS, he was hitting his stride in the mid game, but as the game has been progressing, like his late game play has left much to be desired. Late expansions, likewise rough engagements, unable to deny the fourth base, worse economy. I mean, the economy is the biggest one, right? You can take some bad fights as a Protoss player in the late game and still be fine, only if you have a bank to work with. And that bank is not as large as it otherwise could have been here for SOS, so he has to be careful. ByuN with a comparable bank, which is scary. Zero Colossus left, down to 3 disruptors. And he moves into the siege line. And Nova's going to be going up. Nice splits. Very nice last second split. Oh, the Stalkers get punished. And once again, ByuN takes a better fight. I appreciate that SOS does prioritize this mining, by the way, the base. SOS may nudge over towards what should be one of ByuN's bases. Nova catching out one more order. One more order. Nova goes off. We can see that SOS is zoned away. This base will fall. SOS needs to counterattack. Oh, Mass ETs. He gets in. Very nice. Mass ETs. They take down the planetary. ByuN out of position. And ByuN, he responds. ByuN, he races on over. That's a big loss for ByuN. Finally, something going SOS's way. At the same time, he will lose a base, but that's okay. Like, SOS, he can afford it. He can afford to lose an expansion. It's not the biggest deal. It is worse that ByuN lost his own fourth. As ByuN pulls back. And he does pull back. And Cells take a lapse in. Never goes off. Teasing connection. And teasing connections here from SOS. Catching up Marauders. Does pull away. Setting up for a massive Zealot counterattack. Zealot Stalker counterattack. And ByuN, he has... he's in position. Yeah, he's in position this time. ByuN is ready. And catching up the army. SOS moves in. Diving on the tanks, he gets one. Nice target firing, gets one, gets two. Does focus on Liberators as well, and SOS is breaking through. Wow, he's breaking on through. Nice target firing out of SOS. ByuN forced back. Forced to respond. The mineral line will go down. Heavy losses here for ByuN, and SOS, he might have just done it. As he is crippling ByuN's economy. I mean, again, he just killed the northern base. Now he's denying the third. ByuN, he's struggling to defend on 4 bases. I mean, hey, that's Ruby Rock. We did mention this is one of the maps where it is difficult to defend. Ruby Rock, Tourmaline. They share similarities. As ByuN is just being torn apart. He's just being torn apart. He cannot defend. He cannot turtle. SOS has done it. And again, like, I will say that ByuN was looking more impressive until he lost the 4th base. Like, it was the Mass DT. It's that Mass DT warp in, catching ByuN with his pants down. That was the moments where SOS started getting the ball rolling. There's a moment where SOS gained momentum. And ByuN has been struggling ever since. And ByuN, at this point, he cannot build up. He should not be able to. He's down to 33 SCVs. Like, he's down to 1 base economy. Like, there's, like, no shot. He's down to 1.5 bases. If that. Yeah, there's nothing in the main base. There's only gas mining at the natural. He's down to 1 base economy. Down to 1 base. As we just collapse in. Diving on the final forces. Massive Novas here on the army. Massive connections. And it looks like ByuN he will hold. sOs is missing weapons. sOs he has 4,000 minerals now, 3,000 minerals in the bank. So he was missing war pins. ByuN just muling his heart out as best he can. It's a slow death here for ByuN. ByuN does take some better fights, true. There we go, sOs is remaxed. He's moving in. He's moving in. Back. Big sword, he gets one. Takes down 1, 2 liberators. Nova goes off, does force a pickup. Oof. As once again, we're lacking zealots. Yeah, we're lacking zealots, we're lacking a buffer. ByuN, he has been trading better. Like, he has been taking more efficient engagements here for the past couple of minutes. It's impressive. Like, ByuN is still dead in the water, but he has taken better fights. Does he recover in this game? Can he? I mean, the biggest limitation for ByuN is just the economy, right? It's the fact that eventually he has to expand. Eventually he needs another base. And technically that shouldn't really happen here. Now there is a big mistake here from sOs, and now he does notice, is that he should have taken these top bases a lot earlier, much earlier ago, a lot longer ago. They should have been taken. TTs, they do hit the third. ByuN refusing to die. He refuses. And ByuN is building up a supermaxed army as a result of that. Because of ByuN's efficiency, he now has a larger army. I do favor ByuN in a head-on fight at this point. But because of the lack of economy, because of the lack of resources, it means that ByuN, his army is one and done, right? If he takes a bad fight, then it's over. So ByuN needs to be as efficient as possible, like this. Zealots move in, losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zealots. Zealots just being thrown away. Oh, ByuN commits into the cannons, and this is a rough trade. Does deep power, but oh, he will lose medevacs and marauders. That was a messy fight for ByuN. Not quite worth it. Now, when it comes to ByuN having one big fight in him, it does mean that if ByuN can get on top of the Stalkers and the Colossus specifically and reset that army, it's quite an expensive army to rebuild here for sOs. But they can't quite, actually. EMP's connecting. So far trading well, takes down the Colossus, takes down the Disruptor. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Colossus should be going down. Oh, it saves one! Saves one of the Colossi. Yeah, the liberation zones aren't really set up here. A lot of them are further back. That was still a messy fight for sOs. Losing a Disruptor and 2 Colossus. But remember, sOs, he can tank some of these trades. Oh my god, the Stalkers, they get thrown away. Oh my god, that's what, 6 Stalkers going down. Once again, a better fight here for ByuN. Now here come the liberation zones, bullying his way forward. Even here, missed rally here for sOs, throws away Colossus. Again, these are good trades here for ByuN, but he needs more. He needs more of this. We gotta keep pushing, the pressure is on. ByuN does give chase. Keep going. Setting up a center expansion. Oh, interesting. Can be abused from the high grounds. Army blinks into liberators. Once again, Stalkers are punished. Yeah, that was a crazy blink out of sOs. Losing the Colossus. Again, these have all been bad fights for sOs. Here comes the Mule Hammer, the Mjolnir. Yeah, Mule's up. Fresh expansion. sOs, he will lose this army. Trying to recall. And he will lose another base. Now, if ByuN can take over both of these expansions, ByuN, he can build up an army. Like, he can sustain himself. That's a better way of putting it. He can sustain himself. ByuN forces turn around. Oh, and this is where the supply does matter. Where ByuN is forced to turn back around, but at the same time, sOs gathering an army in the center. Okay, pulls away. sOs does bring everything together. Brings it all together. ByuN catching at 2 Archons. Does catch both. SOS rotates to the center. Nice scan. ByuN should respond. ByuN is responding. And again, ByuN should have been dead long ago, but SOS has been taking bad fight after bad fight. Like, straight up. These have been some rough fights for SOS. ByuN has been out trading. And through sheer control, can ByuN do this? No, no, he dives in. Almost. Almost gets Colossus. Casito. SOS blinks in. Catching out a Liberator. Once again, Colossus looking exposed. He gets one. Yeah, massive big up. He gets one Colossus. And can he get the other? Yeah, nice control, nice movement out of SOS. Protects the Colossus, but he still might lose him. Yeah, again, we're breaking through. No more Zealous, no more buffer. EMP connects. And SOS will lose everything. Yeah, he'll lose everything. He cannot get away. Tries to step back. Here come the Zealot reinforcements. He will lose 2 Colossus. 1 Colossus survives. And SOS holds. Whew, SOS is holding on. Oh, the Liberators are exposed. Stalkers are coming from behind. They catch one. They catch a couple of Liberators again. We're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. More Warpins, more reinforcements, and ByuN, he's running out of army. Yeah, he's running out of steam. He will catch these forces on the top right. And Liberators, they do support. But ByuN's his production. Yeah, the production's under fire. As we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, the big factor here is that ByuN, he cannot reinforce, he cannot sustain these losses. GG gets called, and SOS takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. SOS takes the lead in the series. Again, that was a very, very a very intense game. SOS had a massive lead for a long time, and then he was losing that lead. Like, ByuN, who was fighting his heart out with so little as well. Again, he had no bases, he had no economy, but he was just straight up out trading SOS, and ByuN made SOS work for it. Again, that should have been a bit of a cleaner to end to the game, but no, it got messy, it lasted a lot longer, and ByuN, he did make him work for it. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. SOS does take the lead in the series. Now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Tourmaline, a much smaller map, a much more aggressive map as well. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss for Streamer Zone. It is sOs. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping to game 2, and once again, game 1 was wild. Where ByuN was defending well, right? He was defending well, he was turtling up on 4 bases. Everything changed when ByuN lost his planetary to the mass DTs. That is when SOS gained momentum. He was knocking down the 4th, the 3rd, the 4th, the 4th, time and time again. ByuN was being torn apart. And then we saw SOS, again, just maybe overextend one too many times, be a little bit too cavalier, took some really rough fights, was over-eager, and it actually made ByuN have a chance at redemption. Like, it was still ByuN playing from behind, playing with, a subpar economy and with a limited army as well, so it was still a very, very rough kind of game state there, but again, ByuN, he made SOS work for it. SOS, he was still ahead the entire, final, 15 minutes, but ByuN, he hung in there. Bearing in mind, this is a qualifying match for GSL, so ByuN putting his all out there, and eventually does fall, but there was a slither of hope there. There was a slim chance that he could have maybe brought that back, and for a moment there, I believed. For a moment there, he made me believe back. Believe in the ByuN. But here we go. Here we go. We're going to be loading into game 2. Game 2 here, double gas opener, high ground TC. Once again, same build, same opener as game number 1. So I said high ground TC. I'm getting ahead of myself. Ranks in the factory into. We'll see if he goes for the high ground or low ground expansion. But again, so far, same build, 2 games in a row for ByuN. Meanwhile, ByuN does force the unnatural natural. Okay, sorry, I say force it. SOS, he willingly embraces it. There was no block. Wait, what? What just happened? ByuN did not eBay block, and SOS just goes for the natural base at the 3rd location. Huh. I would imagine that the goal here was to mind game to make it look like an all-in, but SCV scouts are rare in this matchup to begin with. So there is no ICV scout. So there's no mind game. Because ByuN doesn't scout. It's just a really weird choice. It's a really weird choice here from SOS, because he's making it more difficult on himself to defend against an all-in, if there was to be a 2-base all-in. Speaking of, we do have our factory follow-up into Cyclone play. Reapers, they move in. They will confirm lack of expansion. And ByuN, does he ever react? For now, he pulls away. Doesn't check the third location. Again, it's really weird to see no base. For now, he's still playing standard, going for his 1-1-1 follow-up. Yeah, ByuN, he's checking for a ninja expansion. Like, he has the right idea. He's checking for fringe bases. He is checking, but he did not check the third. And this means that at least SOS gets away with his economy being untouched. ByuN, yeah, he's still trying to figure out what's going on. Turns back around to scouts a third location. His own third location, I should say. Now checking top left. Again, he's checking all the fringe ninja base locations, not the third. So again, ByuN is still fully unaware of what's going on. Early tank production here by ByuN. He's getting into his tank, into his medevac. He's pushing, by the way. He's going for an early push. Waiting for his medevacs, waiting for his tanks. Hybrid aggression by ByuN. And it's going to be an awkward defense here for SOS. ByuN goes in. He does try to go in behind the main. Nothing here. Nothing. There's nothing in the main. Confirms 3 gates. 3-gate Robo. No Twilight Council. Really weird. Sorry, I've been focusing a lot on ByuN scouting, but this is a really weird build here by SOS. He's going for a 3-gate opener, which is hyper aggressive, into an early Robo, into early Immortal and Bay. SOS is going to be vulnerable early on here. But ByuN doesn't push. Ooh. ByuN, he doesn't move out. There was potential for him to threaten the Robo, but ByuN never scouted the... Oh, sorry, he did. He did scout the expansion. So now he knows. Yeah, ByuN, he's confused as to what's going on. I don't blame him. He's just turtling up back at home. And I do think there was potential here to punish, for sure. There was potential. But SOS is getting away with it. No shot. He's getting away with it. No. So here we're just trying to turtle up, trying to secure ourselves. Meanwhile, we do see SOS. He did go for the Prism after the Immortal. So now he can move out, now he can reinforce. Again, early aggression here from SOS. And I don't think he can break the natural, but he doesn't need to. He can just drop into the main. Drop into the main base, go for the add-ons. Does he go for Stim? He's going for the reactor. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. He's going for Stim, and he's going to knock it down. Massive pickup. Stim is going to be denied. Oof. Yeah, denies Stim, denies the reactor. There's a cancellation. Trades with the army. You just pick up. Yeah, you just pick up. Punish the Cyclone. There's the pickup micro as well. Trading with the Marine. He can just win the fight. No shot. Takes out the reactor once again. Breaks the lock on. SOS pulls away. So far, just a stronger start for SOS. And ByuN's timing is delayed. Delayed timing. ByuN is stuck back at home. From here, SOS should take a 4th base. Right? This is the moment. Take a 4th. Take a 4th base. Maintain a greater economy. There's a third CC in the main. Did SOS scouts? He did not. So SOS, he might be afraid of a 2-base all-in. We can see the third, so we know that ByuN is expanding. So SOS might be playing a little bit scared. I would like to see a 4th base, but SOS is reinforcing. He might just kill. He's just gonna send it. Huh. Oh no! Prism goes in. He commits, and the Prism goes down. Massive pickoff. He does distract the army. Tanks save rotate. Naturals exposed. SOS moves in. He gets on top of the tanks. He gets 2. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks will go down. Oh, the 4. Oh, he locks him in. He locks him on the low ground. The SCVs commit. He's not opposition. We don't need to. Commit in. Get friendly fire on the SCVs. Oof. Yeah, some miscontrol here from SOS. He could have A moved in, Pap. He could have just gone for it. He could have killed everything. He can still trade. Yeah, he can still try to trade. Just going for the production instead. Catching out the Raven. Not quite. Raven gets away. And ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he does hold on. He does defend. Does start 5 for now. Again, because of the tanks on the high ground, SOS didn't want to A move into the SCVs, but if he had, he would have killed every single one. He would have forced so much friendly fire. Despite that, SOS still has some momentum. We'll see if he misses opportunity. He's going in again. He's going for the tanks this time. He's diving on the tanks. He gets 1. Going for the warp. He breaks 2 anyway. Yeah, he breaks 2 anyway. It doesn't matter. It takes out every single tank. 0 tanks left. And with that, SOS looking to make it into GSL this season. He failed to do so last time. GG gets called, and SOS, he will claim the series 2-0, qualifying for GSL. GG. No shot. GG, well played. ByuN was favored. Again, SOS did not qualify for season 1. You know, SOS, when I think of the hierarchy of Protoss players, you know, I think of Hero, Classic, Zaun being above SOS here. But this season, SOS, he makes it through the qualifier. He takes down ByuN to advance on into GSL season 2. GG. GG. This season, SOS will be a part of the main season. Congratulations. ByuN is going to be knocked down to the losers round, where he will have still to the wildcard qualifier, essentially, where he still has, I say wildcard, maybe like last chance qualifier is a better way of putting it. He will have a last chance to qualify amongst the other players that did go down in the main groups, like Trigger, for example. Trigger, Yang Yakov, Geralt, some of the other players, but GG well played. SOS does make it through. Congratulations. Does qualify for GSL. Crazy, man. What year is it? What year is it, man? What year is it? He makes it through. Crazy. With that, we have 2 qualifying matches left. 2 more to go before we conclude the initial round 1 group stage. Up next, we're gonna be jumping into another ZVP. Un momento.